In the last video, I showed you how we get our weekdays or at least the weekend charges here. So we have here, we can see if something is a Friday, yes or no. And we also have here if something is a Saturday, yes or no. So to explain what is a Friday, number 5 equals Friday and all the others are other days. And it starts with number 1 as Monday. So what we really want here is not really Friday, but the Friday charge. That's what we're looking for. Yes. So if a customer would overnight during a Friday, any of these 3 days or 4 days, depending on their package, they should be charged. So what we need to do is we need to highlight which day that is. And that's what we're going to do. And same with Saturday, we want to know the Saturday charge or the Saturday fees. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the formula a little bit. So we have weekdays, but what we want to do now is we want to create a if statement, meaning if our weekdays equals number 5 for Friday, in that case additional charge of $10, and else $0. For Saturday, same story, but then for number 6 for Saturday. So let's start with that. So we're going to put in here the if. We have here the weekdays, and then we say if equals to 10, comma, if that, to number 5 for Friday, comma, in that case, if that's true, show number 10. If it's not true, show 0. Let's enter, and now you can see this works perfectly. Double click, and it now starts to only highlight the Fridays. And let's do exactly the same, but then for our Saturday charges. So I'm going to just copy and paste the entire formula here. And the only thing what we're going to adjust here is not the number 5. We're going to remove number 5, add number 6. Enter. Double click for this so every formula will be adjusted. I will just make this smaller right now. And this one as well. And all I want here, maybe if you want to make sure you can read this, there is I think a text wrap. So that looks slightly better. And what we want to do now is we have this, we just select these and we just make this $8 sign. Alright. So now we've got everything here. Let's start with the next part. So if you understand, we are working here with this hotel. So we have rates depending on specific situations. And that's what we're going to do next. So what we need is we need these data, and this data will be used with a VLOOKUP in a range lookup. So let's select. It starts with the 1st of was it 16 January 2017. And let me double check if our settings are correct. For date, let's select your date, and I will select here the right date is this one. Alright, so I will just try this one more time. I will say 16/1/2017, enter. There we are. So we have this. So what we really want to do is we want to make sure that Excel can understand that once we hit the next date of April, a different rate applies. And the same is for May. So we're going to do this. And let's start then. Here we have April 1, we need to remember, and May 2. So we will say here 1st of April. Let's see if that works. Alright, that works, but we need to change this to 2017. And we say the 2nd of May 2017. Enter. There we are. So we've got these. Now we need to know what is the amount. In our case here right now, our amount for a triple or double room is $10, $149, and $108. So let's put in this, 149 and 108. So we have these here, and let's give this a nice dollar sign. There you are. So now we have this, and now what we need to do is we need to make sure that Excel is intelligent enough to understand that we are right now with this, then get this number. And if it's this, get this number as well until we hit the 1st of April. So let's start with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the VLOOKUP function. And if you have the VLOOKUP function here, you can see here now you get the Excel helper. I don't want the Excel helper, I want the formula builder. So I will select this button here and a formula builder function opens up. And in here we just need to answer 4 simple questions. Question number 1, what is the VLOOKUP value? So what is this value? Well, this is the date we need, and here we have our table with the information. So this date needs to be found in this table in column 1. Make sure it's always in column 1, and then it will extract this number here. So let's say this, and then we say here table array, we select this large array here. Array means basically all the values within the table. And then we have the column index number. So what's the column index number? The column index number indicates which value you want to extract, or in which column is the value that you want to extract. In our situation, we have this value we put in here, and then we want to extract the second column's value. So this is column 1 here, and that's column 2. So we say here number 2. Finally here, range lookup. In our situation, we need to have every value that is identical until we hit the next bracket. So are we a range lookup? Yes. If you are a range lookup, 2 ways to indicate your range lookup. Number 1, you just say 1 as true, and number 2, what you can also type in is true with double quotation, and it will indicate as well. In our case, I just put in number 1 just to make it simple, and then we say done and done. There we are. So this works fine. The next part what we need to do is, if we want to drag this down, you'll see that something happens. So what happens is we move this. This is not yet set on an exact location, and because of that we are getting trouble here. So I'm going to press escape. What I want to do is first I want to move this more to the end, because I know that I'll be needing more columns later on. So I'm going to move this here. Well, everything is here. Let's see if everything here, so this one matches along with it. So what we need to do is we need to first make sure that this is frozen, that if we drag it down later on, like what we have here, that this doesn't happen again. Well, or at least what we have here, if you do it like this, you will see now moves down here. So what we need to do is we need to make this an absolute cell reference. So it's absolutely referencing to this, and it will not go down or up or whatever it does if you drag it down or up. How to do that? Simple. Select this value here, press F4. Next, select here again, because this is the array. This is the table array that you want to lock into place. So we freeze the cells, we press F4, done. Once we did that, now let's double check. We drag this down and this works. So let's see if we can change this and see if that works then. So instead of April, I'll just adjust this from 1 April to, let's say, 18 January, meaning that it will instantly impact our formula right now. Enter, and you can see now, starting from January 18, it would start to increase to $149. Exactly what we want. I'm going to press, I will revert it back by Ctrl C, just putting everything back into proper place. What I do want here, this is the package rate. Now I'll just give this a nice similar design. There you are. I'll just put this in the center. Later on we can fine tune this. So what I do want here is to double click on this, and then what happens if you double click, you can see everything works until the very end of the formula. Beautiful. So we have this now. So we have now our rates using the VLOOKUP function, and we have our charges here. So we're getting very close to our answer and our system how to get the answer quickly. In the next video, we're going to start working on what we call the specific conditions regarding to these special holidays or block out days in this case here. So we need to get those as well.